Well, welcome to the extras from the Clay Pigeon round of Easy Kart Seniors. This is the B pre-final, 2 groups. The lightweight B group starting first. Matt Brooks on pole position with Matthew Pearce, Steve Yule, Tom Gould, Aaron Banks, Alex Jeffries, Tim Gibson and Charles Waddington make the 8. And it's Brooks that gets the whole shot ahead of Pearce and Gould and Yule through to 4th place. Now the heavyweight group should be starting 10 seconds behind. They should be at the start line now. Actually, they're not. They're just coming into the final corner now, so they're going to start quite a way behind and run the risk of being lapped fairly easily. Here they are on pole position: Dave Jarvis, Mark Brown, Matthew Buxton, Ben Johnson, Chris Carter, John Moody, Ed Causey and Mark Mansell round out that group. And it's Brown that's got the whole shot ahead of David Jarvis. And here come the lightweight group. It's Brooks leading. Brown leads for the heavyweights. This could get quite confusing. I'll do my best. So Mark Brown leads from David Jarvis at the beginning of what will be their real lap 1, because the start line is not where the finish line is. Steve Yule doing his best to make ground. Now there was a heat before this. The winners of those heats have gone through to join the back. The winners in the second places have both gone through to join the back of the senior pre-finals. So this is essentially the race to be best of the rest. Brooks ahead of Pearce and Gould. Tim Gibson joining in with the blue helmet. Quite a surprise to see Matt Brooks, Tim Gibson and Matthew Pearce down here. Tom Gould as well. All more than capable of running in the main group. Bad days all round, I guess. So Brooks leads Pearce and Gould. 138 is Charles Waddington. He's up to 4th place in the lightweights ahead of Tim Gibson. Here's the heavies: Jarvis, Buxton, Brown. 93 is Chris Carter. Brooks pulling clear of Pearce. Waddington made a mistake there off the hairpin, and Tim Gibson goes back through and then loses out on a crisscross through the horseshoe. Now under pressure from Steve Yule and Aaron Banks. Gould looking for a way past Matthew Pearce in the lightweight group. Pearce hanging on tooth and nail and actually getting a good run and closing on Brooks. Pearce now defensive to hold off Gould. That'll make him narrow and slow into the horseshoe, but he hangs on and it invites in Charles Waddington and Tim Gibson. So 5-way dice with Yule just off. So Pearce under pressure from Gould. Waddington looks to the inside of Gould. Gets it a bit crossed up on the brakes, and as we cut back to them, there's been contact. Pearce is going backwards. He's now behind Steve Yule. Mark Brown puts a move in on John Moody in the heavyweight group. But it's Jarvis and Buxton pulling clear of Brown in 3rd, Moody 4. 164 Ed Causey, 5th in this group. Buxton looking for a way by into turn 2. Brown, Moody, Causey, and the lightweight group beginning to close in now to put the heavyweight group a lap down, essentially. More due to the fact that the heavyweight group started a little bit further back than was intended. Halfway through the pre-final, and Steve Yule going through, and Buxton's gone to the head of the heavyweight group for a corner. Will Jarvis dare to tip in over the top? No, he's not. So Buxton leads the pre-final in the heavyweight class. Matthew Brooks still leads for the lights. And John Moody appears to have lost his nose. And 49, Mark Mansell appears to have some kind of mechanical problem. I was recovering from a spin. Jarvis back to the lead of the heavyweight group. And Buxton through once again. Looking mighty on the brakes as Matthew Brooks starts to lap the heavyweight field. Ed Causey falls in behind, but of course they're in a completely different race. So really would be best just trying to get out of Matt Brooks' way and then try and hook up and follow him on his bumper to be dragged back to the front of their own heavyweight group. So Brooks gets around Brown. Tim Gibson now up to second in the lightweight group in the blue. Next up, Steve Yu puts a move on Aaron Banks. I think that's for about fifth in the lightweight group. Tom Gould now is caught up to put a lap on Mark Brown, and with him Charles Waddington as well. They're running third and fourth in lights. Brown running third in heavyweights. Waddington goes through on Gould for third in lights. Back to the battle at the front there. Quick flash of Buxton and Jarvis, still fighting hard over the lead of the heavyweights. It's Buxton for now, running wide out the horseshoe. Jarvis will get a good run, and he's looking to the inside into turn 7 and goes through. Somebody just went down the pit lane. Buxton back through, but on the crisscross. Jarvis looking to the inside into the yeses, can't get it done. Next point of attack is down at the hairpin, over the hump and then on the brakes. Oh, Jarvis comes from a long way back, can't get it done. Now he needs to let Brooks go and try and hook up on his bumper and follow him, see if he can tow him back to Buxton. So we got the leader of the heavyweight group, Matthew Buxton, ahead of leader of the lightweight group, Matt Brooks, virtually a lap ahead. Second place is here, David Jarvis in heavies, Tim Gibson in lights. Something went flying out the side of the car there, looked like the red top of possibly a fuel tank, so somebody's going to get a bit wet. So senior light B group leader Matthew Brooks pulling clear. Matthew Pearce, after his incident at turn 2, is setting the fastest lap and running down Charles Waddington. Gibson struggling to find a way past Matthew Buxton, who's done himself no favours and invited in David Jarvis to fight over the lead of the heavies. And Jarvis knows that Buxton was coming down the inside. Now Tom Gould will come in to lap Buxton and Jarvis. Pearce and Waddington banging wheels, it would appear, off camera. The final lap board's gone out to Matt Brooks. And we're back with the lead of the heavies here. Matthew Buxton, David Jarvis, a lap down essentially on Tom Gould, who's coming through at the hairpin if he can. Jarvis up the inside over the curb, can't get it done. The door slammed in his face by Matthew Buxton, and Buxton will hang on to win the pre-final in heavies. Matthew Brooks wins the pre-final in the lights to take pole position for the main final.